All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. An executive session was held in advance of this meeting to discuss personnel contracts and other legal matters. If everybody could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, I'm looking for a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing no discussion, is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, next is public comments on agenda items only. All right, not seeing anyone. I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes from the December 6th regular board meeting and the January 4th caucus meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing no discussion, is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Next is student reports under presentations.
Hi. So this has been a chaotic time of the year. The end of the first semester ends on Thursday, and then the second one will start on Friday. We're just trying to make sure that everyone gets their work in, is amped up and ready to start the second semester, and that we have putting a good foot forward.
Agreed. So today we had some class meetings. They were held. 9th and 10th grade went in first period, for the majority of first period. And then the end of that in the second, 11th and 12th grade went. And Mr. Funk and Mr. Fortelka basically just discussed expectations and reinforced ideas regarding roles, and just so it stayed fresh in the kids' minds. And it went well.
So a new addition this year has been the addition of the non-academic activity period, which most everyone calls Fun Day. The next one will be in about 2 weeks, before the end of January. Another one is planned for March, and it's kind of a reward for making it through another marking period, just doing a good job, setting good expectations. It's kind of like in the middle school when we had our incentive days, like we have ice cream parties and all that kind of fun stuff. It's like that, but you do funner stuff. Instead of the regular workload, you maybe play more Kahoots or just kind of have a study hall chill period. I'd say we enjoy them. They're really nice. It's fun to play a nice few Kahoots every class period.
Yes, so then also coming up, we have the Miniathon Kickoff, which is now on January 21st. And Student Council has just been working towards getting back to Miniathon. And this is going to be a presentation to the students that takes place during the school day. And there's going to be, presentations regarding Miniathon so kids know what's going on. And then there's also going to be Minute to Win It activities and competitions and stuff like that that'll just spark excitement for Miniathon and get the donations in. So that should be opening up on January 21st.
Science Fair is back this year, so it will be occurring on February 15th. And, 5th, oops, I'm sorry. And we just wish good luck to all those participating. And also, the first round of VOTEC interviews is happening on February 3rd and 4th. They'll be over Zoom, but kids will be able to go over to the conference room to conduct those. There's a list of students and their interview times will be released soon. And we wish the best of luck to all those interviewing.
And then also coming up, there's Chuck-a-Duck. This is a pretty big one. We missed out on that last year, so NHS is excited to get this back and get the community involved. We've been working with West Perry, and it seems pretty good. For NHS, we've been working in committees and then also as a group as a whole, we've been cracking down on things and businesses and donations, and it's going pretty well. And then for the actual Chuck a Duck game, it will be February 5th, and that'll start at 4. And then there's the boys and the girls basketball games, and Chuck a Duck takes place between those. And shirts and duck orders are open until Sunday, January 16th. Yeah. And anybody is welcome to order. You can order a shirt even if you don't plan on going. Just donations are nice. And the link is open until the 16th. It's nice to have that back.
So I love high school sports, and I love talking about them. So girls basketball, I've watched a few of the games. They're pretty good. I enjoy watching them. I believe they have an away game some point this week. No, I'm sorry. Last night, I'm sorry. Hopefully they did well. Boys basketball. I like watching them play. They're really fun. Love the energy. They're getting there. I think one day eventually they're going to be very good. Very good. Got some future superstars. Tri-Valley All-Stars, there's some there. Wrestling, I heard they beat Middletown by a lot. Very impressive. It's nice to venture out of the county to show them who Blackhawks are. Our swimmers, I think they have a away meet tonight at Boiling Springs. Hopefully the Singley kids are doing very well. And our junior high boys basketball, I'm sure they're doing amazing. Instilling the spirit of basketball into the youngins is a very important, very, very important lifelong goal. Come on, you should come out to Chuck a Duck. I think it'll be really fun. Playing the county rival again is always very fun, and our students love being a part of the student section. They love it. Gives them such an adrenaline rush. It's very nice to see.
And then along with that, in a different level, the musical has been taking place, and everybody has been practicing, and they, I'm sure, are going to do an amazing job. There's a lot of dedicated students taking a part in that, and staff. It's going great. And the date for that will be March 21st to the 26th, so just keep that in mind. Book it in your calendar. And it's a lot of hard work. That's all.
I have a question about the activity day schedule. If the students are not participating in an activity or club, what do they do? Where do they go?
So, Mr. Fortelka, nothing's solidified yet.
Okay.
It's more open, and normally there's like a study hall type period if kids don't want to take part in an actual activity. So I'm sure that's going to be similar.
So if they don't, we send out a student survey well in advance, so each student has many opportunities to choose. We often have an activity for anyone who chooses not to take part in any of the other activities. Oftentimes it's just something based out of the auditorium or something based out of the library, whether it is a study hall or something along those lines as well. So everyone has a place to be for every activity.
Are these activities club meetings?
So I think one of the activities so far, it was split between clubs and non-club activities. So students that can't make club meetings before or after school, that gave them an opportunity to take part in the club meetings in school, and we saw a pretty big uptick in student participation because of that. So I suspect in future activities we'll try and do that again as well. I know the last one we didn't do club activities, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do that again
Okay.
for at least the next one, if not the next two.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Cadence, and thank you, Taryn, for that great report. And thanks for the support to the Four Diamonds Fund. It's an incredible organization and supports students throughout Pennsylvania. And thank you for helping us get our ducks in a row. But please come out and support the Chuck a Duck as well. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Black to introduce our student presenters tonight from the Middle School Student Council. So we're extremely excited, and thank you for coming.
Yeah, we have the co-advisors, Ms. Levan and Mrs. Wilson, are going to come down The young ladies with them are going to introduce themselves. They're self-sufficient, and they're going to they have a little paragraph of what the student council has been doing throughout the year so far, and some stuff they're looking to do in the future as well.
Good evening. My name is Maddie Sims. I'm in 6th grade, and this is my first year in Student Council.
Hi, my name is Kendall Hall, and I'm in 8th grade. This is my 3rd year Student Council.
Hello, my name is Molly Martin. I am in 8th grade, and this is my 3rd year in Student Council.
Good evening. My name is Madison Toth. I am in 6th grade, and this is my first year in Student Council.
Good evening. My name is McKenna Smith, and I'm in 6th grade. This is my first year in Student Council.
Good evening. My name is Claire Frankenbinder, and I'm in 6th grade. This is my first year in Student Council.
Each year, Student Council participates in a team-building activity to help us get to know each other and learn how to communicate well and work together. We usually go to Round Top Mountain Resort to do this. We spend the morning navigating different challenges in 2 or 3 groups on the low ropes course. We spend the afternoon as a whole group challenging ourselves and motivating each other on the high ropes course. Due to COVID, the ropes course at Round Top Mountain Resort did not open during 2021. Instead, we went to Escape Game Live in Lemoyne. We worked in 3 groups to escape from the room. One room had a Sherlock Holmes theme and the other had a police station theme. Although we all needed some helpful hints from the host, all 3 groups successfully escaped within the given time.
This field trip challenged all of us because we had to learn communication effectively while locked in the rooms. Each room required multiple puzzles to be solved at once, so we had to work with each other to solve the puzzle, but make sure the other members of the group knew what we did so they could use our information to help them solve their puzzles. Since we worked up an appetite while escaping, we practiced ordering our own meals, practiced proper meal etiquette, and paying for ourselves with a meal at Friendly's.
In October, the 7th and 8th grade student council members went to Neighbors Helping Neighbors Food Bank in New Bloomfield. We spent the morning packing boxes of items that would be distributed to food banks across the area to help people in need. The volunteers there set up an outdoor station and told us what items and how many needed to go in each box. We made our own assembly line to get the boxes packed. We were so quick and efficient that we managed to pack up all the boxes and extra boxes before our scheduled time was up. The volunteers at Neighbors Helping Neighbors had nothing but compliments about us for Miss LeVan and Mrs. Wilson. They even asked us to come back each month to help. Since we weren't able to take the entire student council on that field trip due to space restrictions, Miss LeVan plans to take the 6th graders in the spring to give them a chance to volunteer. Mrs. Wilson will be on maternity leave and enjoying her new baby girl.
In December, Student Council National Junior Honor Society to hold a food drive. Every morning we checked our assigned homerooms, counted the donations, and delivered them to the storage area. The homeroom that donated the highest number of items, Ms. Swanger's 8th grade homeroom, and the homeroom that donated the most items per student, Mr. Henry's room, were awarded with ice cream sundaes at lunch before we left for the holiday break. Student Council purchased the ice cream supplies and toppings, and the students were able to build their own sundae to enjoy. All the donations collected in the food drive were sent to Neighbors Helping Neighbors Food Bank.
In February, we plan to hold our annual pet drive. We work with the Harrisburg Area Humane Society, which services Perry County. We assign different pet items, different point values based on their current wish list, and items that they need the most. We check our assigned homerooms daily and keep a running tab of points for each room. At the end of the 2-week pet drive, the homeroom with the highest value of points per student will be awarded with a pancake breakfast. We usually take a field trip to the Humane Society to drop off our donations. We get a tour of the facility, learn what happens with the animals when they first arrive until they are placed up for adoption, and learn how all of our donations will benefit the animals. They are currently closed to visitors right now due to a COVID-related employee shortage, but we are hopeful that we'll be able to visit by the time our pet drive is through.
We've also done some other activities this school year. In the fall, we held a spirit week during homecoming. Students and staff were encouraged to participate in different themed dress, such as Sports Day, Twin Day, and Plaid Day. We held another Spirit Week prior to the holiday break, with days such as Christmas Vacation, where students and staff wore Hawaiian shirts and sunglasses, and Christmas Character Day, where we dressed as our favorite holiday character. We also helped the cafeteria staff hold an ugly sweater contest and awarded the winners with ugly medals, tickets for treats in the cafeteria, and gift certificates for school store. During December, we sold Santagrams during lunch periods. Students were able to send a Santagram to themselves or their friends for $1. The Santagrams were large holiday-themed lollipops and were delivered to students on December 21st. We also made Christmas cards with beautiful decorations and winter-themed jokes that we sent to Kinkora Pythian for the residents to enjoy. We opened the middle school store on Tuesdays and Thursdays during lunches. After eating, students are able to visit school store to purchase school supplies and other novelty items. We maintain the bulletin board in the cafeteria, where we try to come up with seasonal motivation or reminders for students. A favorite theme so far this year was Treat Your Mask Like Your Underwear, with reminders about keeping your mask clean. We will be holding a winter pep rally sometime in January to recognize our school sports teams and allow the student population to get fired up with some silly games and challenges.
We are hopeful that future COVID protocols will allow us to do some additional volunteer and activities, such as visiting the residents at Kinkora Pythian and helping to make activity bags at Caitlin Smiles for children with long-term medical stays.
Yeah, we want to thank you guys for coming out this evening and for donating some, not donating, but coming, giving some of your time here to the school board and sharing everything with us. So thank you, ladies. Thank you, Mrs. Levan, Mrs. Wilson. And you ladies are free to go if you want. You don't have to sit through the rest of this. But I appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you very much for everything.
All right, next is 7, appointment of board delegates. We're going to do Capital Tax Bureau and Perry County Tax Commission to the Assistant to the Superintendent. Is that what you said? All right, and then Harrisburg Area Community College. Is there anybody that's interested in taking that over from me? It's 2 meetings a year. They've been doing them Zoom.
I would do it.
You'll do it? Mm-hmm. That'd be great. So we're going to put Mrs. Kelly in there. I'll tell you the story. I talked to the lady from Hack twice the one day that we were having a meeting, and then I missed the meeting at 5 o'clock. Like, not this past one, but the one before that. So it would be a great deal if I didn't have to worry about that. All right, and then liaison to PSBA. I'll continue doing that. And then Cumberland Perry Area Career and Technical Center. Dr. Rubish, would you continue with that? I'd love to. All right, absolutely. So that's the appointment of those positions. Next, we'll move on to finance, and I'm looking for a motion to move A and B.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing no discussion, is there any negative votes? All right, perfect, motion carried. Motion 9 is to confirm and ratify the agreement to purchase the property at 418 Schoolhouse Road.
So moved.
Second.
You got a first and a second.
Should we have a roll call on this?
Is there any discussion? We will have roll call, yes.
Okay.
All right, hearing no discussion, if you could do a roll call vote.
Dr. Rubish,
Yes.
Mr. Carmo,
Yes.
Mrs. Wilt,
Yes, you just need to fill out a form. We'll have to get you a form to fill out, but yes, you can.
Mrs. Kelly,
Yes.
Mrs. Walborn,
Yes.
Mr. Fry,
Yes.
and Mr. Lehman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, 10 is personnel, and I'd like a motion to move A through L.
So moved. With regrets for B.
Second.
All right, is there any discussion?
Wait, hang on.
And/or take your time reading. If when you're ready, you let me know. What? Well, that'll be about 3 minutes from now. You'll probably second it again. Are you ready, Dr. Ruish?
Yep.
All right. Is there any negative votes? All right, hearing none, motion carries. All right, next is 11, motion to permit Susquenita School District administrations to post an interview for the 3 interested high school students to work after school as custodian support at $10 per hour.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none. Is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Number 12, motion to approve Miss Nikki Mourin of New Cumberland as business operations consultant starting January 17th through May 1st at $50 per hour.
So moved.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, is there any negative votes? Motion carries. Next is motion to approve Mr. Kenneth Minda of Palmyra as a business manager consultant for budget preparation at $50 per hour, not to exceed 24 hours, beginning January 17th.
So moved.
Second.
Good job. All right, I got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, is there any negative votes? All right, hearing none, motion carries. 14, motion to approve HB McClure Controls contract to replace HVAC controls at all 3 schools at a cost not to exceed $243,884.00. This will be paid for through ESSER's 2 funds.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Go ahead.
When were the last time the controls on the HVAC system were replaced? Do we know?
More than 5 years ago.
Okay. And is that an acceptable time frame, or how often do things like that get replaced?
It depends on the quality you put in.
Okay.
The ones that are in there now before I did, they were told that it'd be 5 to 7 years.
5 years. Okay, so we got the life out of them that we should have. Okay, great. Thank you.
How about the new ones we're putting in? Thank you. I wrote that down. It'll be sent to you in an email later, copying the superintendent, so. All right, is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Next is academic calendar. Motion to approve the academic calendar for 2022 to 2023 school year.
So moved.
Second.
I got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Or would anybody like to see
Can we see it one more?
Dr. Fox explain it again for the next 2 or 3 hours?
Oh, ooh.
No?
No,
All right.
thank you for the good job of putting it
Yeah.
together.
You got a question? No, I put it up. Oh, they did? Oh, there it is. What's the light blue? Oh, no, never mind. All right, is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Field trips, approval for the concert band and West Side Singers trip to Pittsburgh from Thursday, May 12th to Sunday, May 15th, to participate in clinics, performance opportunities, and artist showcases throughout the city. And
So
as a
moved.
side note, they will miss 2 days of school.
So moved.
Second.
Nikki, wait a minute. Can you rewind that and see who was first, if it was Starburst or Mrs.?
Oh, I only heard Marcy.
You only heard Marcy? Oh. You have to yell louder over there, but we're going to give you half credit. So can you put them both down as a second?
A comment on this? I've seen
Yes,
the
go ahead.
agenda for it. It's quite impressive, this trip.
This actual trip or just their trips in general?
This trip in general, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, is there any other, no other discussion? All right. Is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. 17, discipline committee recommendation motion to approve the board discipline for student 081709.
So moved.
Second.
I had a first and a second. Is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Next is discipline committee recommendation to approve for student 092407.
So moved.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Is there any negative votes? Don't want any part of these. Motion carries. Motion to approve disciplinary committee recommendation for student 100706.
So moved.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Next is the motion to approve Board Disciplinary Committee's recommendation on student 102006.
So moved.
Second.
First and a second. Is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. And now to the highlight of our show, Dr. Rubish, you're up.
Thank you. Okay, news from Cumberland Perry Career and Technical Center. The other day, they used up the last of their snow days because they had to use many in the beginning of the year because of the flooding situation. So from now on, their snow days will be remote days, and Mr. Bruin says, of course, that is not ideal learning for CTC. Cumberland Perry CTC has received a grant for a new frame machine for auto collision, and also, unfortunately, to report that they have their highest COVID total of the year yet, with 30. They were going to go to mask optional, but that has been deferred for the time being until the situation improves.
All right, thank you. How about your other organization now? Do you have anything to updates on there?
Yeah, Susquenita Blackhawk Foundation, has set a date for the golf tournament of June 24th. It'll be at Eagles Crossing in Carlisle in the afternoon. That's a Friday afternoon. Next week, we have a quarterly meeting, and we'll be deciding about what we're going to spend things on this year. Teachers have not another week. They only have till Friday to submit requests. We're still looking for them. We do have money. Encourage people to apply. We'll see what happens. That's pretty much it. Thank you.
I'm feeling kind of funny, though, because you're not trying to sell me anything tonight.
Not today. You play golf?
I don't play golf.
Well, I think Mr. Fry here can probably teach you before June to get you up to
Before
speed. Yeah, part of his team.
Is it best ball at least? So like
Yes, it is best ball,
So
yes.
my second hit will at least be off.
You know what they say?
Ball.
Those who can't do teach.
Yeah.
I can actually play, so I won't be able to teach.
All right. Next, moving on to our meeting schedule. We have a caucus meeting on February 1st, regular school board meeting on February 8th. Informational items, we're getting rid of some 18 basketballs. What is going on with our basketball program that they've ruined 18 basketballs already? Oh, okay. And then maybe they're playing out in the rocks or something. I don't know.
They were probably indoor balls. They were way outside.
Yeah, they could have been here when Jonathan was in school, maybe. And then air hockey and ping pong table looks like it's worn out. All right, administrative reports.
Thank you. I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of our teachers and our staff, administration, and district community to thank each and every one of our board members for your dedication, expertise, commitment, and your collective team efforts as a school board member. This month is School Board Appreciation Month. Each day, each of you serve our district and volunteer your time for the betterment of our students. So thank you, sincerely, for your service to our district. So as a small thank you, we'd like to provide you with a certificate and also a really nice handcrafted memento that was designed by Mr. Terry Engel, our middle school technical education teacher. So as I pass these out, please join me in providing and giving our board members a round of applause for their service to our community and district. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, your mementos. Just an update, our COVID task force our COVID task force is a temporary committee, and our temporary committee, COVID task force, had a meeting to review our current health and safety plan. As a result, we are recommending no substantial changes to that plan. In addition, please, we do encourage our students, staff, and family members to contact their primary care physician to discuss if a vaccination or booster is appropriate for them. A special thank you goes out to Mrs. Nikki Moore. Mrs. Moore has admirably served our district as the Director of Financial Affairs and most recently as our Assistant to the Superintendent for Finance and Operations. As Nikki concludes her tenure at Susquenita School District, please join me in thanking her for all of her work, her guidance, leadership, and friendship. Please know that you always have a place here in our Blackhawk community. Thank you, Mrs. Moore. Thank you. Up next, we'll go with special education.
Thank you, Dr. Fox. Good evening, everyone. I just have one update tonight, and that is that the Special Education Plan Committee met for a second time. We included additional stakeholders this time because the state extended the due date for it, so it gave us the time to jump back in and really refine it. So I look forward to presenting that at an upcoming caucus, an overview of that plan for all of you. But other than that, that's all I have for tonight.
Athletics.
Good evening, everyone. Just a few updates. Beginning of the year, we talked about trying to create a Hall of Fame, Wall of Fame. I have been contacting the athletic directors throughout District 3, getting an enormous amount of response. The vast majority of it positive. couple of my close friends say don't do it, but we're going to move forward with that, and I'll have information coming, here in early spring about our next steps. It's quite a daunting task. The girls mentioned the Chuckaduck coming February 5th. We also have, there's 4 games that day. JVs are playing as well. They play first, boys, girls, and then we'll do boys varsity, girls varsity, 12, 2, 4, and 6 approximately. We also have what I call another Palestra Saturday. If you're familiar with Palestra in Philadelphia, an old style gym, Big Five used to play there all the time, and Saturdays were known for quad headers. So we're bringing Newport here on the 22nd of this month for a quad header. It'll be girls first at 1 and 2:30, and followed by the boys at 4 and 5:30. And Mrs. Kistner and the varsity club are in the process of creating a food drive and a competition with Newport. I'm working with their AED to try to get them on board to do something. So we want to do something for the Perry County Food Bank and tying it into the 4 games with Newport. So that's coming, and then of course February 5th is the thing. In the next cycles, we also have 2 Saturdays with 4 games each where the boys and girls will be featured, and that's Peckway Valley and Anvil Cleona. So we're going to bring them in, and if I can schedule these types of events within the county, I'll continue to do that because it's a nice way for everybody from both schools to get there, and we just spend the day. It's a good thing to do those things. The next 2-year cycle schedules are getting very close to being finished, so that's a good thing as well. And some things are just waiting to see that I can wrap up start times and things like that for the next 2-year cycles, depending on facility usage.
Thank you. We will transition now to buildings and grounds. Mr. Howell.
Good evening. Board members, thank you for the approval of the student custodial program that we're going to start. I'm very excited about that. And I do just want to give a big shout out to my staff, maintenance and custodial staff. Being short staffed we are, your buildings are still being cleaned. So big shout out to them. That's all I have. Thank you.
And business department.
Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Fox, for the incredibly kind words, for your faith in me, and for all of the opportunities you've given me. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you, school board, as well as the staff here, for all of the great work we've been able to accomplish together. I certainly will be around for a while, and even after that time point, if anybody has any questions or anything like that, please always feel free to reach out to me. We're moving through a lot of things, wrapping up some things this week, so it's pretty crazy. But again, I will be available should anyone need anything, so please never hesitate to let me know. Thank you very much.
Elementary school.
All right, so Dr. Fox asked us to give you a little bit of an update on what our flexible instruction days look like should we have them now that the winter weather is more than upon us. So at the elementary school, our students will have 2 Zoom sessions a day, one focused on ELA instruction and one focused on math. We have them staggered throughout the day by grade level to allow for some breaks, and also to be respectful of families' bandwidth, because we know that everything functions better when they have a little bit more space. When students are not on Zoom, they'll be doing some independent learning activities. We have an hour set up in the middle of our day that is to provide lunch, recess time, and some unstructured time for the family to do it all together. We saw no need for families to be making 3 lunches at 3 different times. We want to make that easy on them. We also want our students to take breaks, get up, move around, play, go outside. Students who receive special education services or intervention supports, they will have opportunities for additional Zoom sessions and time with their teachers, and those teachers will be setting up those meetings directly with our families and sending them their schedules. One thing we learned last year was that our students cannot be on Zoom all day long. They don't learn effectively in front of the computer all day. So we really are making time for movement, brain breaks, activities, hands-on learning activities throughout the day while our students are not on Zoom. And we want them to move around and be active just like they would whenever they are at school here at the elementary school. The last thing I want to mention about it is that we added some teacher office hours at the end of the day. Our teachers are available throughout the school day by email, but their schedules are all different. So what we did was we went ahead and added some office hours from 2:30 to 3:30 where families can reach out to the teachers, set up a phone call, set up a Zoom session, or they could even meet with some small groups if they needed to. Does anyone have any questions about our flexible instruction day before I move on? Okay. So just to share a couple fun things happening at the elementary school, right before the holidays, we did get our teachers a little riled up with a holiday contest that Dr. Lorfink and I entered our teachers in online. It was a virtual contest where they were sent emails and acted as almost undercover agents throughout the week. Some things they did were some random acts of kindness around the school and shared ideas for us for school improvement. Some of them silly, some of them very serious. And so we've had fun kind of looking at those and seeing where we can implement them and where we just need to shake our heads. We are also excited. Our Apple Vanguard group met today. They've been meeting throughout the year. We're seeing some really great uses of technology throughout our school. Some collaboration between STEAM and the core content. I walked into a classroom where students were synthesizing what they learned in a reading by creating their own iMovie trailers. We've seen some virtual math challenges and a really fun photo scavenger hunt. So I know there is still more to come. I saw on the agenda tonight, and we want to just take a minute to wish Mrs. Coulter the best in 5th grade. We are certainly going to miss her at the elementary school. And we are really, really excited to have Miss Lee on board taking over that classroom. And then finally, and probably my most important announcement for tonight, is that it is time to start thinking about kindergarten registration. So if you have a student that is 5 or going to be 5 on or before September 1st, it's that time. So we're going to have a parent meeting at SES on February 24th at 7 o'clock, and you can check our webpage. There's a form for families to complete out and and provide their contact information. So any questions related to kindergarten registration can come to the elementary school. Thank you.
If you look at the middle school fit day, it's by far the most complicated on the out of the 3 schools. We have the for 5th and 6th grade, they have a double period of math and ELA, and then they have the specials in the middle, and sometimes the specials have a 5th grade at that period or 6th grade, so we kind of had to mix it around. It's very confusing. The teachers have gone over with the students, though, posted on the Canvas and kind of showed them how to follow their schedule with the A day and the B day. So for 5th and 6th, all 4 grades, it's a 30-minute Zoom, but the Zoom is not to take. It's going to be about 15 minutes of instruction and have the students then work on the assignment or whatever it may be, with the teachers still on that Zoom if there's questions that arise. 5th and 6th, about 20 minutes in between each class so they can kind of take a break or finish up some work if they want to before they go to that next Zoom. 10 minutes for 7th and 8th as they're older. They're getting towards like the high school. We feel like they need to get in that different groove with like the high school schedule. At the end of the day, about an hour. If the students want to jump back on, ask teachers questions. So it's confusing, but the teachers have gone over with the students. Next year, I hope to make it more just uniform for all 4 grades, which I think I'll be able to do pretty easily. So that's the goal for next year, and hopefully we don't have to use it this year anyway. So I think Dr. Fox has done a good job getting us in here and getting us in person. I know the teachers appreciate that, and the kids like to be in here as well, especially on the 2-hour delay. It's a quicker day for them, but the teachers are much more appreciative of the in-person instruction than the Zoom. There are only a couple things in the middle school right now. I know the marking period ends on Thursday, so halfway done. We do the 6 rotation schedule, so the kids will go in their last half of rotations and their special rotations. And then on the 27th, we have our 3rd digital citizenship lesson we're going to put out there. That's with balancing social media, the correct amount of time on social media, off of it, and how to use it correctly. Very important, I think, as you guys notice, if you look around some social media stuff, we see right now, not only in our community, but throughout the country and in the world, that it's appropriate to teach them, the young people, how to use that correctly and responsibly, I think is very, very important. We're going to try, this is our 3rd different schedule we tried. So we tried it on a Thursday in the afternoon, we tried it on a Monday in the afternoon, and the teachers want to try a morning just to see when the students are more responsive, because maybe in the afternoon they're already tired. They don't, they just went through 6 or 7 classes. They don't have that. They're not as fresh. And also, like Michelle's elementary group, the Apple Vanguard at the middle school also had their second day. It's a half day today. And thanks to Mr. Hyde, who's running it for us, he was able to push it back about a half hour so I could get, without subs, I needed to get some coverages in there for teachers. And by him pushing it back that half hour, we could get everybody covered and have them participate. So I appreciate everybody's help with that, and also Christine's help setting those up as well for us. Thank you.
At the high school level, we follow a very similar schedule for our FID days. So we start at 8 o'clock, and we have 25-minute periods with 5-minute interchanges. And so students will continue their same schedule 1st through 9th, obviously with lunch periods and study halls still remaining the same. But like Ms. Comp said, we received a lot of feedback just about on the amount of screen time. And so we also have between 1 o'clock and 2:45 in independent work time where teachers are available on Zooms via email, just for students with any questions they have or wanting to work independently with them. And then also, if we do happen to have a 2-hour delay, that schedule is ultimately reversed. So still 25-minute periods with starting at 10 o'clock and running until 2:25 without that independent work time at the end. So, I think we're ready. We've had a lot of conversations with students about that. So when the time comes, I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. On the announcement side, I think our board reps tonight were very thorough. So I don't have a whole lot to say. We have our next Apple Vanguard group on the 26th of January. I know that since our first meeting, we've had a lot of conversations about what's going on in the classroom. So I'm looking forward to our next board meeting so we can come together and discuss more that we're talking about in those groups. We're excited to have Dr. Collins back on campus on the 17th. I think that at the high school level, we've enjoyed diving into a lot of the information that he provided us, so it's going to be nice to come back full circle again with him on the 17th. I want to reach out and say thank you to Mr. Howell and his group. I think that our first round of snow, campus looks great by the time we got here, and there were no issues either with parking lots or anything like that, so thank you for that. And congratulations to Mr. Ziegler as well. He's put a lot of time in the district, and we wish him the best, and congratulations. I think that is it for me.
All right, tech is last, I guess. So I would just like to echo what the principal said about the Apple Vanguard groups. I'm very excited about the teachers in these groups, the learning that's happening, and how they're what they're doing in their classrooms, and then they will be sharing with the other teachers some of the great projects that they're learning, and hopefully then we'll see it district-wide. Second, I would like to thank Mr. Howell and his team for helping with the technology recycling. I know that they're very busy, but they helped over the Christmas break to make sure everything was set up, and when they came to pick it up, they helped, so thank you. And last, Mrs. Moore, just good luck, and you'll be missed.
Board reports, Mrs. Kelly.
Okay, I just want to thank everyone. I want to thank the principals for reviewing the FID days for everyone. I think that was really helpful. They never like me talking, so they always mess with my mic. I just want that on the record, Dee. I'm just joking. I want to thank Mr. Howell and his team. I think that they're doing a fantastic job with our first snow and everything. I think they did great. I think we made the right calls during the delays that we did, and when we came onto campus, I think it looked wonderful. And I want your staff to know that we know that they're working hard, and we know that they're short-staffed, and we appreciate them. I want to say that for all of the departments. The cafeteria, I want to say that we know you're short-staffed, we know you're working hard, and we appreciate you. All of the aides, the nurses, the teachers, the administrators, I just want to thank you for staying with our team. We know that this is hard, and hopefully, as things, get better, slowly, I think we have to expect that things are going to get better slowly and not just get back to normal every day we wake up, and we're going to all get through it, and I appreciate everyone's hard work. I want to congratulate our people that are retiring. I want to wish the best of luck to our people that are leaving and to our new hires. And Nikki, I appreciate everything that you're doing, and thank you so much for working with us.
Dr. Rubish.
Yes, I'd also like to express appreciation to Nikki for all that she's done for the district and for the Susquenita Blackhawk Foundation, including recently she got a grant for SBF from 7-Eleven. We really appreciate that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to request a brief executive session after this is over. I promise it'll be brief. That's it.
I'd just like to say congratulations to our retirees and best of luck to you in your future endeavors. Thank you to Mrs. Moore for all that you've done. You will be greatly missed. And I'd also like to echo what Mr. Howell said, your words about the hard work of your staff. I had the opportunity to talk to one of the staff, the other evening in their after hours, and they were extremely pleasant and wonderfully helpful and very dedicated to the work that they do and making sure that our buildings remain clean and open and just very pleasant in what they do. And I think we take for granted in what they do, what we don't see that they do in the evenings. And so, yes, thank you for all that you do and all your staff do to make sure that our buildings are open and ready for our students to come to school and learn. So that's it.
Echoing everything that was already said, but especially Nikki, I'm still trying to spread the rumor that you are staying. Pulled that one off with John in the office one day. But thank you to our student reps, great reports, and the middle school student reps that aren't here with us at this point. I'm sure they appreciate being dismissed or released. But on that note with the students, if there are any students listening or parents listening, Mr. Black mentioned the digital citizenship coming up and the importance of proper usage of social media and things. And, I'll take my couple seconds here to mention that we need to start taking that serious, especially as students. And if the students aren't at the maturity level to do it, then the parents should be taking it upon themselves to be monitoring those tools, because I personally have seen very recently some silly and unnecessary and then some downright disturbing use of Susquenita's name in social media platforms recently. And I know there's a lot of people that really have a positive outlook for this district, and that doesn't look good for those of us that don't agree with those sort of things. So I would like to see it stopped. So that's me on my soapbox, saying stop it or asking, please, to take these things seriously. When you put these things out in the world, in Facebook, Instagram, whatever, it's there forever. You might think you delete that post, but it's digital. It's there forever, and it will come back at some time. So take it serious. Take these programs that are being provided to you serious, and take the time to understand. Thanks.
Your mic.
Push the button. Anyway, and thank you to all the people that have served in the school board and on everything. And I can't talk on a microphone.
I'd just like to echo everything everybody else was saying, and echo really strongly what Mr. Fry said. I work in IT. We don't hire people because we look at your Facebook before we go to hire you. So please, remember what you do today in 10 years when you're going to get a job. It's going to be there, and somebody's going to find it, and it can cost you a job because you thought it was funny today. But you can't do that. You have to think of your future. So, to really be careful. And I'd really like to thank Mr. Ziegler. Both my sons had him as a coach. and my youngest son will still have him a coach this year, but, he's done a great job. He's really committed to the district. He's an alumni of the district. So just big shout out to Mr. Ziegler and best of luck in his future after this year's over.
I'll echo everything that everybody said and like to thank everybody for all your hard work. And I know that everybody's working shorthanded, but the product we've been putting out this year has been stellar compared to where we've been recently, and I think we're moving in the right direction. Moving on to public comments. Anybody want to make a comment about anything? Doesn't have to be on the agenda. No? Thank you. What's your name and where are you from? Thank you.
Mr. Lehman,
Yes.
before we adjourn into executive
I
session.
still have some questions to read.
Oh,
If-
can I just say one thing
Go
that
ahead.
I forgot to mention during my thing? I just want to thank Mr. Engel for making these for us. I had it written down and then I forgot to read it.
Thank him on all of our behalf.
Yeah,
Make
thanks
sure-
from all of us.
Jason, make sure that he knows that we were that we were very appreciative. Thank you. It's always one of my daughter's favorite classes. I don't usually talk about her, but it was always one of her favorite classes.
Okay, first question is Corey Stone from Penn Township. Since students are involved in disciplinary actions are coded so as not to reveal their names, we should be able to hear circumstances of the cases, steps that have been taken, and final dispositions. I believe it will help to ensure your constituents, especially parents of current students, that the disciplinary is being dealt consistently. I would have to push that to Mr. Altland as a question because I've been on the board for 12 years and we've never released that information. So I would not know what the legality of that is, but we can reach out to our solicitor and get back to you with that. And then next one is from Corey Stone, also of Penn Township. What are the plans for 418 Schoolhouse Road? I think we put out a presentation in November, and you plan on putting that out a little bit jazzed up on the website?
Sure. In November at the caucus, we did share some information. There is no immediate plans for 418 Schoolhouse Road at this time, but it's one of those pieces of generational properties that certainly when we look at our contiguous campus, it does flow and connect to our campus. And it is one of those pieces, certainly of property that around here is coveted because of it's flat. And that allows us to have potential growth, potential usage. And at this particular point, just to reiterate, there is no immediate plans, but it is one of those where the timing came available, and being generational and contiguous, we wanted to make sure that we had room and expansion on our campus.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else have anything? And I need a motion to resolve into executive session with no vote to happen afterwards, so we'll dismiss from there.
So moved.
Second.
All right, got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, is there any negative votes? All right, hearing none, meeting's adjourned.